Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Friday, October 21st, 2022. People, here's the story right now. The opening bell goes off in just about 38 minutes. Expect a pan sell-off. That means everything is selling off here. We have a problem. You know exactly what I am talking about. I expect right at the open, the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, again, free to everybody on this planet that wants to have a look at it. Link in the description of this video, to breach extreme risk. Now, what is that telling us, people? Clearly, you all know, if you have been following this blog, that we have a ticking time bomb that is ticking louder and faster. This issue here with debt market instability is getting seriously out of hand. Central banks right now seem determined to destroy the entire economy by this fictitious, misleading, deceptive tactic, explaining to people that they really got to fight inflation, so we're going to aggressively raise rates. And all this has done here is, again, destroy our economy. It's taking the people with it globally. This is a coordinated effort by design here. And it doesn't seem like central banks are going to do a damn thing about it, at least right now. Immediate action has to be taken, and I mean immediate action. Look, is it possible that some outlying event could occur here that would force the Fed and other central banks to get in here and start doing something to stabilize the debt market? Absolutely, that could happen. But consider how this works. Let's just throw out a hypothetical here. Something occurs where central bank, of course it would be engineered. Okay, some event occurs. And central banks say, okay, everyone, we're going to, start to ease back on hiking rates, and we're going to start to buy the debt. This is all massively inflationary, and you're not supposed to know that. You see, the propaganda, part of the propaganda here is tricking people into thinking there is a solution. There is no solution to the situation here. Central banks in direct collusion with puppet governments around the world, none more so than here in the United States. These last three presidents, including the current freak sitting behind the Resolute desk, have done everything in their power to allow the Federal Reserve to inflate. Our last president, I know how many of you love the guy, all right? He's way better than this guy, I guess, in some perspectives, but they're all the same. Was calling for negative rates, was calling for a weaker dollar. And what would that have done if that actually did occur? It would have made the Fed even stronger, okay? It's all a game that is being played on the people of the world here. Allowing central banks to continue to inflate makes them more powerful. Calling on a central bank to weaken the currency. And you see how that's playing out right now, this global inflationary issue. Worse in Europe, but it's getting pretty bad here in the United States with no end in sight. They can't stop it. Central banks here have pushed us all into a corner, not them. You see, their power resides in their ability to inflate. A lot of you feel that central banks are stuck. They're not stuck. We're stuck. You and I are stuck here. And they will inflate. They will continue to magnify the global money supply, which is the real issue here. A currency free fall, as you are well aware of, if you follow this blog, is the reason why we're having skyrocketing inflation with no end in sight. As a matter of fact, with regard to economic news here, let's go over that just real quick. So every single economic indicator is pointing lower, meaning the economy is nowhere near any kind of a recovery whatsoever. Although, if you were to listen to retarded presidents and puppet leaders around the world, they're going to tell you how great we're doing. All right. Every single inflation indicator is pointing towards more inflation coming. You see, this stuff is being hidden deliberately by The powers that be that run the freaking propaganda ministry. And it's all about deceptions, distractions. Look here, don't look here. New variant. Be very afraid of this new variant. Absolutely, because it's going to kill you. And as you all know, the greatest threat to humankind is this debt bubble implosion that is going to occur here. It's all a game. It's a mind screw on an unprecedented scale, and people are being led like sheep to the slaughter. Period. The end. So going back to the situation here, this cannot be fixed. All that can happen here is this gets worse. No matter how you want to look at it. For example, like I said, central banks continuing to inflate, using puppet governments to borrow cash into the now from the future. That's not going to stop. This crisis, that crisis, another crisis, whatever it is, to something to throw more cash at. And that is inflationary. It balloons the money supply, destroys the purchasing power of the currency, because the overall global pool of currency keeps getting larger. Now, I'm just going to go over this real quick because I've done it a million times, but there's a lot of new people here. How does the currency get value? When the Federal Reserve or any central bank creates a dollar out of thin air or adds it to a digital screen, is it immediately worth $1? No. It has to steal value or purchasing power from every other existing bill in whatever form it exists. Okay, so a bill being added to the global pool of fiat currencies, again, weakens the entire pool of currency. So it gets its purchasing power sucked out. Henceforth, why you're seeing inflation and this global race to the bottom. No one's talking about this on the mainstream, and they never will. How central banks are deliberately killing their currencies. Henceforth, why they continue to inflate the money supply globally, and why there's not even a slightest talk anywhere how central banks should be contracting the money supply. Oh, no. See, because the goal here is to continue to inflate and drag the people along with it, trying to convince them that central banks are on some kind of mission to make things better. No, they're on a mission to make things a lot worse. What are central banks doing? They are forging a way, forcefully and successfully, to be the lenders and buyers of last resort, to finish what they started, their final freaking solution, people. I've used this word for years, okay? And it should make sense. You look up final solution, okay? Maybe you should read about what that was all about. And we're seeing it again here. It's the same thing, okay? But this time is much, much worse. Much, much worse. It will kill many more people than the final solution that was instituted. I'm not even going to talk about this anymore here. I'll probably get my channel banned. But anyway, look it up for yourself. They are pushing us into a situation here of epic proportions here, people. You know this. A resource issue on an unprecedented scale. Forget about supply chain disruptions that we have now. They're blaming this on inflation and everything else. It's the currency free fall. It's the fact that the economy is in free fall. And this is nothing. When this debt market really gives way, and it's starting to move here, okay? 10-year yield this morning, 4.3. Okay, the dollar, the knee-jerk higher in the dollar is a big, I can't stress to you enough what a tell this is. The knee-jerk reaction into the dollar is a fear trade. Okay, when you see that, it shows that the market is smelling something, and it's that odor is getting pretty freaking vicious. And as you can see right now, stock futures lower across the board. At least they were. Pressure on everything. Pan sell-off right here at the open. Let's see what they pull off today. I can't imagine that the MMRI will not break 300. That's extreme risk. Extreme risk should tell you something. I've been warning people around for how long now? If you're in the market, hedge your positions or get out. Or get out of the market, okay? This is a very bad situation that is getting progressively worse. The economic news, bad across the board, does not stop. You understand? Okay. So we have, again, this pan sell-off. Silver under a lot of pressure this morning. Gold under pressure. Crude oil under some pressure. Cryptocurrencies under pressure. A pan sell-off means everything's selling off. The debt market is on fire right now. It's burning, all right? And this burning right now could potentially turn into an inferno. All right, don't listen to Greg Mannarino anymore. Listen to the Bank of America. All right, read this. Fragile treasury market, debt market, is at risk of large-scale forced selling or surprise that leads to breakdown. Duh. Okay. You and I have been so freaking far ahead of the curve on this. I honestly am the first guy. I'm the first guy who has been trying to raise awareness here with this issue from a decade ago. And now, bang, here we are. And we're just and I'm telling you right now, this is just the opening act. This is the opening act to what's coming. Be ready. Prepare yourselves, okay? Mentally, physically, spiritually, every way you can think about. Start to form alliances with people. Do it now, okay? Those neighbors that you ignore every day as you walk by, that maybe you should start to pay attention to, you people are going to need each other, okay? In a worst case scenario, and that looks like where we're going, pandemonium, absolute pandemonium on the streets on a global level. So anyway, and understand what you're seeing. Do you think this is by accident? Any of it? Really? Are you trying to tell me that central banks didn't foresee this coming? Meanwhile, you and I knew it. We've been talking about this for over a freaking decade. And are we smarter than central bankers? Well, maybe that's true. But I'm telling you, they not only did they know it, they've been fostering, and central banks collectively are pushing the world deliberately to this breaking point. They're breaking the economy. They're breaking the economy. That's all they're doing with their rate hikes. It's not stopping inflation, nor is it even meant to do it. You know that because I've been covering it to the point of nauseum lately. They want to fix the inflationary issue. Force the banks or tell the banks to raise the capital reserve requirements. We could stop inflation in its tracks. But no, you will never, ever hear this from a single propaganda ministry. CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg. You think you're going to hear one of those commentators talk about that? No, because they can't tell you. Even though many of them know it's true. They can't let you know. It's the sickest freaking thing on the face of the earth, people. I don't know what else to tell you. Look, I've covered a lot here in this video blog. And I am trying desperately to raise awareness as to what is going on. And there's no end to it. It's going to accelerate here. It's just a matter of time. Maybe even today. We don't know. When we start to see monumental jumps higher in that 10-year yield. Where it's getting out of hand as it is, okay? And this knee-jerk higher in the dollar, this phenomenon is not going to stop either. And I'm talking about the relative strength of the dollar. People, look, we're in a currency crisis, a currency free fall. Central banks, this is deliberate, okay? On relative terms, the dollar will remain strong and get stronger as other currencies free fall faster. You understand? In absolute terms, well, you can expect the purchasing power of all fiat currencies, which include the dog shit dollar, to continue to crater. And what does that mean? It means inflation is going much higher, but you see, the lie must be sold to you. Fed President Harker yesterday, he sees this. He sees inflation dropping significantly in 23. Really? When a central banker tells you that, you know the polar opposite is true. Am I right? Okay? People, look, I'm going to urge you, if you are new here, share this stuff. Get it out as far and wide as you can. I am not on a single social network, so I count on all of you. Facebook, Twitter, wherever you post your stuff. Take this video and get it out there. People need to become aware of what's happening here. We're making a difference. We're making noise. This channel is getting bigger every day, leaps and bounds, okay? So we're obviously doing something right. This isn't my thing. This is our thing. I've been telling you this for years here, all right? We're a team, you and I. We got to get this stuff out there because you're never going to hear this anyplace else. All right, people, look, out of here. I am out of here. We will reconvene in this lovely spot. Later on today, we'll sum this all up, and we'll see what kind of tricks they pull off. Follow the MMRI, okay? I can't imagine that we're not going to break 300 today, okay? Link in the description of this video. Check that out. Save that to your computer. And, I mean, it's a big tell. I don't know what else to say here. When I first put that thing out, we're in the 80s. Maybe even lower than that. We're now going to break 300, which is extreme risk. take this seriously, people, or I don't know what else to tell you. Blow it off if you want to, but I would strongly advise against that. All right, I'm out of here. I will see you later.